James put this video out yesterday. His mum is having an operation and she had to go for one of these tests. This is James filming the test, and then me and James talk afterwards. This thing is supposed to be airborne, so why are they doing it in cars? This one in the hospital next to the incinerator, but why are they testing his mum in public, allowing if she had it and it was a deadly virus, all those germs would be going out, and anybody that lived near here with this testing going on are all going to get it. What's your thoughts? Anyway, the video, then me and James talking.
I know this is a scam. This is evidence.
Evidence of what?
In case I need evidence to go to court.
What, darling?
You euthanasia? I know this is a scam.
Lovely. Put up your nose now, my love.
Yeah. Did you want me to do that?
Just relax.
No, it's going to take a brain surgeon to take that implant back out, isn't it?
Okay, all done.
All done? Oh, lovely. Thank you very much.
Alright, the hospital only get back to you if it's positive.
Which it will be.
Alright?
How do you got
They
what?
only get back to you if it's a positive.
Yeah.
So you stay isolated now until you come into hospital.
Yes, I'm going into foot surgery on
Okay.
Wednesday, yeah.
Alright.
So I should stay away from everybody
Yeah,
except...
so you have to stay isolated till you come into hospital.
Yeah.
And the hospital only make contact back if there's a problem or just
Oh, so if I
contact.
don't hear everything, it's okay.
Yeah, no news, good news.
Oh, lovely.
Alright?
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you very much.
Well, I have the man of the video at the moment, James. James, I've just played your video of your mum having this test.
Well, it was too good an opportunity to visit. I've seen other people's videos on social media, but I thought I can actually witness this for myself, and that seems an awfully long thing to be putting up a nostril. And it begs the question is, why are there nasal sprays, and so why do they need to do invasive swabs? I would say they're actually implanting something.
And the nurses don't realise that's what they're doing, because this whole point is that if it's all right, I'll let you talk, James. Carry on, James.
The truth-seeking side are played as much as the mainstream media. The whole idea of nanotechnology and implants might be the breadcrumb trail that they're feeding us, so we then put about the story they're putting implants in us because it's still going to generate fear. So that's why I just put that test, and I didn't put any commentary with it apart from what I said on the video.
James, you sounded very upset, but there is a big part of it though. If this is supposed to be an extremely dangerous virus that we can all catch because it's airborne, why are they doing it in the open in the car?
Well, I mean, it wasn't just that. They made there was a lot of waving arms when I drove the car in the wrong way and didn't follow the yellow arrows, because as we know, this virus only goes in one direction, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. But apparently it doesn't go in Florida anymore because they've lifted the lockdown there. Sweden, this thing respects the national boundaries of Sweden, so it doesn't cross.
It doesn't go to Black Lives. If you go on a Black Lives thing, it doesn't go in it. It comes to your house if you're one of 6, but it doesn't go to the pub where there could be hundreds.
And if you're angry and protesting, then you're not going to get it either.
Yeah, and all the people in the shops who are working without masks, it doesn't come to them, but we've got to wear masks because it could come to us.
I'm actually waiting now. I'm going to get myself a surfboard or make one, I think. I'm
You're going to surf over to me,
I'm
James.
waiting for the protest to start when people start saying black masks matter. That's how ridiculous it's going to get. If something appears to be too good to be true, it's because it is. And likewise, if something appears crazy, it's because it is.
Well, it is crazy.
Totally.
James, thank you so much for that bit. So
that's all right. Just do I mean, the analogy in the Bible is Jesus walks on the water. That's rising above the Admiralty law. It's also surfing the second wave. Just laugh at the ludicrousy of the whole thing. Like those that want to go and have all this, if they're that stupid, let them do it.
I know, but I did wonder that myself, because someone else I know, Marilyn, she went for a blood test, but she felt quite awful afterwards. And I was said to her, do you think that what it is that every time you go to the doctors now, no one realises it is all on the ends of the needles? They don't realise that they're giving you something.
Well, they're physically saying what they're doing anyway.
Or do you think this is just a mask for it all? It's just to frighten us to death. Nothing's happening about nothing, but they've got to put this whole layer in to make it look real, to make it look... I mean, like, how can they tell you not to go to someone's house? There is nothing... I've lost all my work. Our world is on its knees, and they're telling you can't go to your friend's house.
Well, this is the real injection. This is the implanting the idea in people's heads, and people are just going, okay then. It's people that are doing this. There's all the media doing. They're being like the medium when you go to the tarot cards. They're suggesting and giving people ideas.
Because we all find out actually that the mask thing is there's no laws for the mask thing.
Well,
that's where they can't make you wear a mask. They cannot enforce it at all, and then they're enforcing something they have no law over.
Well, it's a conflict, because then that's showing that the police are showing a political bias.
And that's one of the reasons that loads of people were going to Trafalgar Square, because they're making us do things they have no law for. But people believe it.
Well, I'm sorry, but when you've got thousands of people at Trafalgar Square, if the police are trying to arrest one of those protesters, then why aren't all the other protesters surrounding the one they're trying to arrest? Because unless they're going to have one policeman for one person...
Yeah, that comment James is making is for the other video I've just put out about that German doctor being arrested. Everybody should have protected him.
Yeah, definitely.
If people are going to speak out on our behalf, then they need to be protected.
Everybody needs to ask themselves, how far are they prepared to go with this? I mean, an analogy you could say is, well, I feel so strongly about this, if they want me to nail me to a wooden cross, then I am prepared to do that, because I have the courage of my convictions.
What people have to do is they have to turn their televisions off and not look at that.
Well, that's a start. The ankh that's always mentioned in Egyptian, it's half of it. I mean, it looks like the Christian cross with a loop on the top, but it is the anchor. It's the core of us, is the ankh. It's being true to ourselves. It's what this new age is about. It's staying in our power and saying no. That's all we've got to do.
I say no!
Yeah. It's
James.
like, no, I don't agree with that. I'm not going to do something that I know is morally wrong. I'm not doing something that I know is going to inflict and cause a problem to somebody else. And that can even include going to work, because don't forget they're taking the taxes at source from your wages, which they're then spending on something that you don't necessarily consent to. But you are allowing them to do it by taking part in that.
That's the problem when you vote, because they give you all these things which they tell you they're going to do. You give your vote, and then they carry on doing what they want. But because I know from that little video of Boris, we're going round here, by the way, everybody, because obviously we started off with that video of James's mum, but little Diddy Boris on the street, little Diddy Boris. Well, they made that months ago, so he never won with that majority. So I would have said, don't vote for these people, but then they can just mess with the figures and pretend that millions did vote when they didn't.
Well, my vote is going to myself, and...
Okay, James is going to be Prime Minister.
No, my vote is to not vote, because I don't hold with their fake system.
I don't vote anymore. I was going to say, Prime Minister James, what would you say to the people?
Stop being pagan pagans. If you look at England and Wales charity expenditure, and you can look at any charity, whether it be National Trust or whatever, you look at their income from that they're getting, which is donations, which people willingly give because they've played the script of playing on the heartstrings, but the rest of the money is made up from government or fulfilling government contracts, which was your money, which they've taken from tax. So you're paying twice anyway. So everybody is giving to charity whether they want to or not. But the worst part about it is, particularly when you look at something like the National Trust, the number of people that are on salaries of £60,000 and upwards. And you can guarantee all those positions will be appointed. It'll be the same people who are the MPs who've got shares in pharmaceuticals.
Oh, they sell their souls, don't they, James?
Yeah. They've
James,
gone for the material wealth route, the fake wealth.
James, we don't want any. I think a lot of people don't want this system or want them anymore. But you didn't look very happy with your mum in that car yesterday.
Well, it's her choice. It's to have a toe amputated that she wants done because she's listened to the advice of a doctor. All along I've been saying, look, there is another way of doing this. There are many other ways you can do this. I said, have you looked into the foods that you could be eating to helping your body, changing your diet? That's one route for a start. You can also go with the route of doing it with your mind. You can actually heal. I mean, it says in the Bible in numerous places, Christ says, heal thyself by thy faith alone. If you believe that you are healthy, you will be healthy.
But what the point was that this test they're doing in the car, in the open, to your mum, if she had it, she just gave it to thousands of people. So I wouldn't want to live around one of those test centres. I mean, if you were a general public, I wouldn't want to live around one of the test centres.
They've set the test centre at that hospital up near the incinerator, would you believe?
It's all just a dirty joke, isn't it? It's all just a dirty joke for someone else who's laughing at us.
It's a masquerade. It's a mask. I mean, buildings have got masks. They're called facades.
Well, it's all a facade. James,
it is.
We've been going for 10 minutes. I really hope that nothing happens to your mum. I know that you're very annoyed with your mum, aren't you, James?
Well, I'm just... it's not so much annoyed, it's just disappointed that it's
after everything you've said to her, after the hours you put on the computer making videos telling the truth, that she goes to have the test.
Yeah, but the thing is, the way you could look at this is it's like a mass Mandela effect where the majority have just jumped into, I mean, these weaponised words they're using like new normal, where a lot of us are saying, this ain't right. But then we're made to feel, which is why I said you might as well wear a yellow armband with a Star of David on it. We're being persecuted for daring to question a narrative. I mean, this is how it all started before. Going by the narrative that they've given us, now we've got 10 o'clock curfews. What's next? You will show your papers?
Oh yes, that's your latest thing, isn't it? You've made a video about that we need to just walk around with the yellow star on our arm.
I did make a video, put it up on Facebook. I said tired of wearing things around your neck. Is your new exemption armband coming soon? I just put it like that. Because it's but
it is like that, isn't it? If we can't go to work without documents, we can't get on a plane without documents. People, this is worse than the Second World War. This is worse than anything we've watched.
Well, it's following the same script all over again. People don't even.
We don't even know what those Jews were told. They could have been told. They could have been told anything to get them to wear those stars and stuff like that. We're only told what we're told. They've changed everything. They could have been told something completely different.
Well, it's the story of the boy who cried wolf. We're having swine flu, we're having avian flu, we're having AIDS, we're having Ebola. I mean, what happened to all these threatening things? And then you go back to the 70s.
What? Are we going to have to wear are we going to have to put stars on our shoulders when this is a virus-free area? The virus has been here. These are what the stars are for. I just don't know anymore why they made them wear those stars.
It's just another incursion on.
And they've made a load of money out of the Second World War, haven't they? With museums and stories. I mean, I've been to Auschwitz. I've been to where the supposedly the person in the Second World War that was a German. I can't remember what his name was. A big film was made about him. and he got the Germans out. He got the people
yeah,
out.
I know what you mean.
Oh my goodness, I can't think what it is.
Of the name of it off the top
Oh
of
my
head.
god, it was a really big film.
Schindler's List,
That's it, Schindler's List. They made things like Schindler's List. They've made masses of money out of the Second World War.
Well,
I went to where Schindler's List was. I was so shocked. You go to this museum and it's got masses of stuff in it, and then you get to his room. There's only one room with his desk in it, and that's the only bit that looks like an office. The rest they've turned into this weird museum. But there's the desk that person sat at. They've made masses of money out of this.
You got powerful symbolism. Just go in W.H. Smith's or Waterstones or sort of one of these corporate bookshops. I guarantee you, just look round, you'll find a paperback with an eagle and a swastika on it, because it will draw people. They always sell. I mean, Leo Kessler and all the rest of these World War II paperback writers. It's a big money maker.
Yeah.
Holocaust with a capital H is a business. It's another business.
Anyway, James, we've been going for 13 minutes, but the whole point was that your mum had that test in the car.
Yeah.
They stuck this great big swab up her nose, and they did it in the open, which means that, say it was real and she had the virus, she just spread it to half that town.
Well, the thing is, they take it out of the packaging, so it's out in the air, this swab thing that is going up the nostril as well. I mean, how ludicrous is that? You would think logically...
Anyway, all these tests should be done in a sterile environment.
Yeah, you would think that would be done in everybody suited and booted, covered head to toe, and done in a sterile laboratory condition.
No, it's just done in a car park by the incinerator.
Yeah.
If you actually work that out, it is pathetic. I'm sorry.
That's one of the reasons I put the video up. I thought, let's see how many people observe that it's been done in the outside.
James, thank you so much for that bit.
You're
And I'm
welcome.
sorry that your mum... Anyway,